Welcome to day 3 of learning how to design your own models and designs for 3D printing. And in today's video, we're going to learn how to make this 3D printable Mario block from start to finish. This is a fun, simple, and easy design, and by the end of it, you'll have a fully modeled design that you can 3D print on your 3D printer. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump right into the software and get started. So here we are within Fusion 360, and the first thing we're going to cover here is in order to create this design, it's going to be slightly different than what we're used to. We're actually going to be creating a cube rather than drawing out a segment of lines. So to do that, we need to hover over to the left hand side, in which we're going to create a new sketch. Then what we want to do here is to select the bottom plane as shown here at the bottom. Once selected, Fusion's going to reorient us from a top-down look, meaning that we'll be looking at our plane from the top, looking down. What we also need to do is to create a rectangle. So instead of creating a series of lines, what we can do is hover over to Create, and then use this feature called Rectangle. From here, you want to select Center Rectangle, which allows us to define a specific point and draw out and sketch out from that point. So to show you what this looks like, select Center Rectangle, then from the origin, clicking and dragging out your mouse. And you'll see within Fusion, it's going to automatically give us two different numbers. Now the difference is that we're not going to get a degree number, we're actually going to get the length and width. And we can set this accordingly. So if we press tab on our keyboard, we can alternate between the two. Now the distance for this, or the measurements, is going to be 76 by 76, which is around 3 inches, give or take. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to click my mouse, then click on Finish Sketch. Now the next thing we can do here is to extrude this profile into a solid body. To do that, we're going to use the extrude feature within Fusion, then selecting our profile, and we're going to drag this up to around 76 millimeters. With that done, we now have a cube. Just make sure it's set the operation to new body and press OK. Now, with that complete, the next thing we need to do is add a series of chamfers to this, since this design does incorporate chamfers. To add this, we can hover over to Modify once again, select chamfer, and now we can select all of the edges of our design. So you want to go in here and make sure to select every single edge of your cube from the top, then start from the sides, and then the bottom. Once you've selected all of the edges, what we can do is set the value to 3 millimeters, which adds a chamfer going all around our cube. And what I want you to do is to quickly hover around your cube. Just make sure that we have all of the edges with a chamfer. Now, if by any chance you accidentally missed an edge, you can always go back in your timeline here, double click the chamfer, and you can hold Command on your keyboard and go ahead and select an edge that you may have missed. But if you're good with that, or if you're happy with that, you can just press OK or press Escape on your keyboard. Now, the next thing we need to do here is to add a shell. To do that, we can hover over to the top left-hand side, select Shell, and then select the top face as shown on our cube. Once done, we're going to set the distance or the thickness here to 2.5 millimeters, which is going to create an internal thickness of around 2.5. Once done, I'm going to press OK in the dialog box here. Now, I want to mention that this is going to create a shell on the inside, but it's also going to shell according to how our chamfer is set up. So as you can see, by default, since we created a shell, it's going to shell this in. Instead of just creating a cutout going straight to the bottom like a square, it's going to shell this in to kind of match the dimensions of how we have our chamfer. So since we have a chamfer prior to adding our shell, you can see on the inside, there's kind of like this chamfer effect that's sort of left in our design. And that's one of the cool things about shelling a design, because it adds those features and incorporates that, and it doesn't just create a solid cutout, it actually matches to the contour of your design. Now, with that said, we're pretty much, I would say, 80% of the way there. The next thing we need to do here is to insert an SVG file to create the cutout for the question mark here. Now, here's the thing. Fusion 360 allows you to import SVG files into your canvas and actually use an SVG file as a sketch to either create it into a solid body or maybe to even cut into solid bodies. But you need to have an SVG file. Now, if you don't have one, you can always use a JPEG and then convert it to an SVG or create your own SVG. Now, for the sake of this video and keeping things simple, what I'm going to do now is leave a resource down below underneath this video that you can download and use for this video. And it's going to make it 10 times easier for you to import an SVG without you having to manually find one yourself. So to do that, we can hover over to Insert on the top right hand side, click on Insert SVG, Then go ahead and click on Insert from my computer. Once done, you want to use the Mario question SVG, select open, and then what we want to do is to select the face as to where we want to place this. I'm going to select the front face as shown here, or if you're not too sure, you can also select the front here on your cube and reorient it to get a better look. And I'm going to select the front face of our cube here. Now, once done, it's going to import that SVG into your software. Now, if we're to kind of zoom out here, it kind of takes up a lot more space than we anticipated. So we can go ahead and kind of stretch this in using this small icon here and kind of bring it down so we can scale it down accordingly. Then I'm going to just go ahead and position this accordingly so that way it matches my design. Move this down and then scale it down and just kind of move it with this square here, kind of get a position that I like myself. And that looks good to me. I'm happy with that. And I'll press OK. Once I'm happy with that, I'll also finish Sketch. And now we have our SVG file inside Fusion 360. The next thing I want to mention here is that if by any chance your sketch is turned off, you can always turn them back on here in the Sketches menu within your browser tab. But for example, mine didn't turn off, but for any reasons yours did, then you can always turn them back on here. Additionally, you can also do that for other sketches as well. And also, I want to go ahead and name this sketch to something like Mario SVG. That way we have a point of reference as to when we actually added this design. So you can double click on that icon there or on the tab there, type in Mario SVG and press enter. And that saves as sketch in reference to what we added at that point in time. Now we can go ahead and get started into cutting our design. We're gonna use the extrude feature on the top left-hand side. Then we're gonna go ahead and zoom in into our product. And then let's go ahead and select all the profiles for this design. Selecting these two outer profiles. Then here on the sides. Then the question mark. Then the outer rings. And there you have it. Now, with this, what we want to do is to create a cut into our design. So I'm going to type in -0.4 millimeters, which is going to act as our cut. Make sure the operation is set to cut, and if by any chance you actually set it to 0.4, it's going to look like this. So we actually want this to cut into our design by -0.4. That way Fusion actually knows to cut into it. Additionally, make sure the operation is set to cut, and then obviously you want to make sure this goes in, and then press OK. So now that we add our cutout here, the next thing we need to do here is to add this exact same pattern all around our design. And one cool thing about this is that instead of having to go in here and import an SVG and then just manually do that over and over for each and every single side, there's actually one feature that we can use within Fusion that's going to duplicate this exact same pattern all around our product here. To do that, we're actually going to look for this feature called circular pattern. To find that feature, what we're going to use within Fusion is Fusion's shortcut menu. Now, what I want you guys to get used to the fact that Fusion has a whole bunch of different shortcuts, and you can actually press one key on your keyboard, which is the S key, which will allow you to look for specific functions, features, or shortcuts. So what I want you to look for is for pattern. So you're going to go ahead and type in pattern, and you'll see by default, you'll have a bunch of different options. The main option that we're looking for is circular pattern. And as you can see, Fusion's gonna allow us to use this feature to apply to bodies, features, or anything specific that we have within the software. Now, what we wanna do is change the object type from bodies to features. Then what we want to do is to add the last feature within our timeline, which is the one we use to extrude to create that question mark. Then what we want to do is to select the axis. The axis is shown here, which is going to be our z-axis. And we want to make sure we select from the origin or the middle, which is this blue line here. And the reason this is important because this is going to act as the center point as to where we're going to revolve this or how we're going to pattern this. So if you select this axis, you can see Fusion 360 has populated 2 additional cutouts, but we need 3 more. So we can increase the quantity from 3 to 4, press OK, and Fusion's gonna add that cutout to our entire box as shown here. How cool is that? So once added, the last thing we need to add is the white cutout for the question mark. Now, we can use our SVG as a point of reference. So for example, we can turn back on our SVG file and then use these cutouts here because this has already been preset for us to use for this specific video. So for example, if you notice, there is these inner sort of cutouts here that we can use, and not using the outer exterior ones. We can actually use the ones on the inside, which I'm going to use for this tutorial. So by selecting this, I can select all of these profiles by holding shift and then select each one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press E on my keyboard, and then I'm going to go ahead and extrude this. So let's just say 1 millimeter. And what it's going to do is that it's going to extrude this out by around 1 millimeter. Now keep in mind, this doesn't factor that negative 0.4 that we put in. So this is actually going to protrude out by around 0.6 millimeters. In essence, if you want to have this at a solid 1 millimeter sticking out, what we can do is set the direction to 2 sides, keeping it at that 1 and adding side 2 at a 0.4, which is going to create it into a new body. But we also need to make sure we have the operation set to new body here, from join to new body, that way so it doesn't accidentally stick to our design here on the right, and press OK. Now, once we zoom out, you can see we have our question mark with our yellow cube. The last thing we need to do here is just add some color so that we can kind of get a point of reference as to what it's going to look like. Pressing A on our keyboard, going into library, typing in yellow, then picking a yellow that I like. I'm going to use plastic matte yellow, then dragging it onto our body. Then we're going to look for a white color, and then we'll use plastic matte white. Drag and drop this here, and zoom in so actually get a better look. And there you go. Now you have all of your color added to your design. Fully modeled within Fusion, fully added, fully colored. And just keep in mind, this doesn't show up within your slicer. You'll have to manually add that color, but this is good as a point of practice, so that way we know how to add colors to our products within Fusion. Go ahead and save this by clicking on save on the middle section of the screen. Save this as day 3 Mario block and press save. Once done, let's go ahead and export this to our slicer. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that within Fusion, we can actually export multiple bodies. So for example, if you hover over to the left-hand side on our browser menu, you can see that we have our bodies folder here. And if we're to toggle that, you can see we have a whole bunch of different bodies that we created. And every single thing that we created, even every single dot and every piece here, that counts as one whole body. But what can we do if we wanted to just export one piece and then export other pieces separately? So one thing we can do is that we can click on body 1 and just name this to the box. Then we can right click on that, save as mesh, press OK. And now I've only exported the yellow cube into my slicer software. I'm going to add some color to this. So this one here is going to be a separate piece. So since I have a printer with an AMS or a multicolor system, I can actually print all of these in the exact same build plate without having to set out 2 different prints. So for example, here I have the yellow box, but I can turn off this piece, which only leaves us the bodies here in the center, and then I can export all of this as its own. So right clicking at the very top level, which saves everything, exporting to my slicer, and now as you can see, here I have my question mark plus the box. So also, I can just change this to a white color, reorient this, and here we have our design in our slicer. So I'm going to duplicate this, make multiple copies, and then I'm going to save this and merge it. And then I'm going to save this by object, and hopefully it fits. So you can see here on my Bamboo X1, it fits perfectly. So I can print both the white pieces on its own and the yellow piece as a separate color, all in one go. And my 3D printer is smart enough to print one piece at a time. So it's first going to print out the yellow block, then print the white pieces as its own piece. Of course, I probably need to consider this purge line here in the beginning, but otherwise, this is a fully 3D printable design that we've created from start to finish. It takes us 2 hours to print with, honestly, less than 100 grams of filament in total. Of course, you need white and yellow, which is a separate cost, but all in all, this is a fairly easy design that anyone can design, and this video is perfect if you're someone that wants to create simple shapes and figures, import SVG files, and maybe even apply it to your own custom logos and designs. So go ahead and print this out and let's see how it turns out. With that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe down below. If you want to get access to more guides and tutorials and resources just like this, make sure to check out 3D Printing School. 3D Printing School gives you everything you need to start designing your own models from scratch, to creating your own custom projects and designs, to learning and mastering 3D printing, and maybe even creating a design that you can print and sell for profit or even to start a business. If you're curious about that, make sure to check it down below in the description. With that said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.